Hi everyone, Jill Lancet, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. How is everybody? Sundays seem to roll around really quickly for me. I've been busy all afternoon making this card for tonight's video, but I want to show you the cards that we made yesterday for World Card Making Day. We had a really great time. There are the three cards. I'll stand up and I'll give you a close-up of them. Can you see that really pale yellow detail on there? And this one's got some pretty little flowers and some stitching detail. And this was my favourite, the watercolour one. We did this on watercolour paper using some of our inks. It's very, very 3D. Beautiful, beautiful. If you want to know any details about those, in the comments or email me. You can have a look on my social media as well. And while you're there, like, subscribe and share. Yeah, let's share the fun that is making cards. Okay, today's card, I saw it on Pinterest, but I wanted to use this beautiful stamp set. Now, I've had this stamp set for a while, and it's on the clearance rack. Now, there are dies that will coordinate with them. At this point, you buy them separately. But I just wanted to tell you how much this is now. I've paired it with the beautiful Sun Prints 12 by 12 designer series paper. This is also on the clearance rack. Now, I've just theoretically added some in-colour dots. I haven't used the in-colour dots here, but if you buy the stamps, the dies, this paper, which isn't necessarily the coordinating paper, but you'll see it won't matter, the in-colour dots, all of those 4 items, had you bought them when they were not on the clearance rack, it would be $136. Now, I'm all about saving money, and I want you to save money as well. If you buy them now, it's $68. Coincidentally, you save $68. So that works out to be half price for those 4 items. Now, they are in the clearance rack as of today, but who knows for how long. Now, if you can wait until tomorrow to the 11th, Stampin' Up! Are giving free shipping for orders over $65. Now, this comes to over $65, so there will be free shipping on this if you bought this combination of things. But you do need to check in the clearance rack, especially if this is the Australian clearance rack. So if you're in New Zealand, in Europe, in the UK, in the US, you would have to check your country's clearance rack. But this is a beautiful stamp set. I probably won't ever part with this one because it just creates really beautiful stamps. So I'm going to pop all this away now, and I'm going to show you the stamp set itself. Now, it's a red rubber one, so you know it's going to last. I mean, Stampin' Up! Products do last, so you will have this forever. Now, here's just some cards that I made ages ago using these stamps. And this one used the coordinating paper that is no longer available. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful. That is not intended to match up perfectly with that stamp, but it creates a really beautiful graphic look. Now, that's a very simple look. The same with this one. This one I didn't even stamp the shadow fill-in stamp. I just coloured that with a blend. So that's that stamp set. Today's card, as I said, I saw it on Pinterest, and for the life of me, I didn't write that down. I'm getting really terrible at that, not writing stuff down. But anyway, if you go to Pinterest and type in Splendid Thoughts, the original card will come up. But I've made it slightly different, used slightly different papers. So, and I'm going to dispense with this. I tried something with the gilding flakes, and I'm not a fan today, not on this card, but we will compare them at the end, and you can tell me in the comments gold or not. I also, this is boho blue. I've also changed that out for blueberry bushel. Oh, these names. Anyway, I'm going to get started, and I'm going to tell you what you need. Now, I don't know about you guys, but look, I always seem to have scraps like this left over. Don't throw those away. I use those on as many sentiments as I can. Now, I've got several different thicknesses there, so they come in handy. And here is one of them. This one just happens to be 1.2 centimetres. Now, I've just left it at the size that it came off, because we're going to stamp a small sentiment. And if I can't get it straight, we might use all 4 bits and pieces. So the card itself is a Z fold. So that's what a Z fold looks like from above. That's what it looks like from the front. And you open it out like that. So I just love this. And look at that little bee. Gorgeous. So we have our standard A4 cut in half this way. So it's 10.5. And then we scored it at 14.8 and 7.4. So 7.4, 14.8, and we end up with this Z fold card. The next piece is the blueberry bushel, and this is 13.4 by 9 centimetres. Now that's going on there like that. We have a basic white piece, that's what we're going to stamp on. That is 12.7 by 8.3. We have this little piece of DSP here that is 10.2 by 7 centimetres. Now, when I say 10.2, you could go 10. I just eyeballed that, and then I thought, oh no, they're going to ask me what the measurements were. So, yeah, let's just say 10 by 7.7 centimetres, okay? And we need another little scrap of the DSP. Now, coincidentally, it just came off the bottom there, and it is 7 centimetres by about 2 centimetres, okay? And this is for our sentiment. So we'll get started on this. Now, the first thing I want to do is the stamping. Now, you can choose any colours you like. Honestly, any colours you like. It's not going to matter as long as they coordinate. So yeah, let's just show you what I mean, okay? Now, you wouldn't, I mean, I couldn't, I thought about a green for the leaves, and I thought, you know what, let's go a blue green or a green blue, and it will match. It will match every time. So the first thing I did was with the outline stamp. It's just beautiful. It's just so elegant and so, to me, graceful. That is graceful. So we're going to stamp this 3 times, and we're going to vary it in height, and we're going to certainly go off the edges to create something a bit different. So, and I'm actually going to turn this one here. I'm going to turn this one so it's straight up and down. Now I'm sure you can see that. And I'm going off the edge, just like that. Just pressing that down. It's quite warm here. this evening. I've got some water here, so just, yeah, pardon me if I have a drink. It's thirsty work making cards and talking to yourself. So there we've got one. Now I'm going to ink that up again, and I'm going to put this one in the center, but I'm going to go down just a little bit, and I'm going to turn it so that the angle of the leaves are not the same exactly. And then the third one, again, we're going to have him over here. So they look quite different. Now the other thing we're going to do is, I'm just going to pop that up there. We're going to stamp our little bee. How gorgeous is this little bee? So ink him up. Now, you don't want to smush this into the ink pad. Try not to get it all over the edges of the stamp. And we're going to put him somewhere around about here. Like he's just flying along, minding his own business. There he is. Now we need the Lost Lagoon, and we're going to ink up the, I don't know what to call these, shadow, fill in, I don't know what to call it, two-step, I don't know. But it's not going to match. It's not going to match perfectly. So just do your best. Just put it wherever you think it's going to go best. And give that a minute. And it's one of those distinctive stamps. I love the way they turn out. They just turn out really lovely. So ink this up again. Now I like these little ink spots. Now I don't know if you've been watching my channel, you know that I buy these uninked. You get 5 in a packet. They're in the annual catalogue. And I just buy the re-inker and ink them up myself, hence the homemade label. But I like that. I can choose what colours I want. I've got the re-inker, so yeah, so I can keep re-inking it forever. And I've saved money, because I think for 5 of these is around about the same cost as one ink pad. And I'm getting 5 of them, and I'm getting the refills, because sometimes you can't afford the refill and the ink pad at the same time. Well, I know when I first started out, I couldn't. So this way I'm just buying the refill basically. And this last little one is going to go here. And that's pretty much it for the front of the card. Now, on the front of the card also we need a sentiment. Now, this is where you might need more than one scrap if you're anything like me. So this is going in the Night of Navy as well. Now I'm just going to, yep, look, all over me. I'm such a, I don't know, I've just been a messy stamper lately. Now, let's hope I can get this straight. Now, I might have to get my head in the way here. Sorry if I do. So, hopefully, that's straight. Straight enough. Okay, so what we want to do is let's just put the lid on this before something terrible happens. Put all those stamps out of the way. Give my hands a bit of a wipe on my chamois. And try not to get ink everywhere. So I've got all the bits and pieces here. And I'll just pop that over there. And we'll carry on. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to adhere this to here. Now, I'm a liquid glue person. You can use whatever way you prefer. I like the liquid glue because it gives you a chance to straighten that up if it's not correct. So you can see that's a little bit, I would have actually cut those 2 centimetres off if I had time. But anyway, that's done. Isn't that beautiful paper? Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, the next thing we're going to do is to assemble this part. So effectively, it's a rather quick card. There's no ribbon. There's only a couple of embellishments. It turns out to be quite an impressive looking card, I think. So we're just going to line that up. We've got our liquid glue so that if we need to, we can just move that around. And this part here, I'm just going to trim this down and then miter the ends. So just take your little snips, and what I did was actually I just laid it up against this and snipped it at about the same border. Just snipped it like that. Trimmed this end too. And then I'm going to banner it. Now, this is really an easy way to do this. You just, in the centre, you just cut into the centre, and then you go from corner to where you just made that cut. And if you're right-handed or whatever, or it's a bit tricky, I always turn it over and do the same thing. Beautiful. Round about the middle. I can never get things straight to save my life, so, you know, that's why sometimes I have to find an easy way to do it. And there, that's done. That's done. Okay, so we can put this on here now. I glued this straight down and I popped this up on dimensionals. So we'll give that a couple of dimensionals. One there, one in the middle, why not? I'd rather have too many than not enough. Now these are going off, if I can get them off, and straight onto our little designer series paper piece. So I'm just going to hold that up, check that border there, check that border there. Look, this is a handmade card. It's not going to be perfect. Right, so that was just glued straight on. And look, you really don't need a lot of glue. I mean, that looks like I've put a lot of glue on, but I haven't. And that's going around about there. Leave a little bit of a border there. And on we go. Let's just see if that's straight. And that looks pretty good to me. Now we're going to glue this onto the front of the card, but before we do that, because I want to be able to fold the card out flat like this, we're going to stamp inside here. So we need our Night of Navy back again. Let's just pop that out of the way, I'm going to ink that up, and just in front of the score, like very close to the score, I'm going to pop that down. I'm going to put this greeting on the inside of the card. It says, "Let's celebrate." And I love the combination that they've used with these fonts. They've used a whimsical one, like an almost handwritten one with a block one. And it just always looks so classy to me. So now I want to put that close to where these leaves have left that little gap. So I'm hoping that's straight because I'm not over the top of it. Looks pretty good to me. And I'm going to do the fill-in part of the leaves as well in the Lost Lagoon. Now, of course, you could even put the bee in here if you wanted to. So don't forget, this does not match, so just wherever. That takes a lot of pressure out of where you're going to position this stamp, just quietly. So that's the inside of the card. Now, you're not going to see that. We are now going to glue this over here. Now, I want you to make particular attention to the border that goes all the way around, okay? So now this is how I do things, because accidents happen. I put glue on this part of this one and just a little bit on the edge. Not too close to the edge and not all the way up, okay? So now I can put some on here and I know that I'm covered. So I want to make sure I've got a nice even border all the way around. Now those measurements will give you that nice even border all the way around. So I'm just going to press that down. Now if you wanted to put the bee, I would wait until you have this on here, just so you know how far up you can go. Let's put him on there in the Night of Navy. We might as well. So we want him to be about there, I reckon. So we'll just move that, put him there. And there he is. You can't see him from the outside. Now, just to... what have I done with them? Here they are. Just to sort of tie in the Lost Lagoon, I wanted to use, excuse me, some of the Lost Lagoon, what are these called? Tinsel Gem 3-pack. And they're Misty Moonlight, Fresh Freesia and Lost Lagoon. So I don't know. The other ones I did blue. I thought I might do these ones in the Lost Lagoon and we'll compare the two. What do you think? So they come in 2 sizes. So let's take a big one and pop it about, let's pop it about there. We'll take a smaller one and I think I put it on there somewhere. And we'll take another small one and we'll put that somewhere down here. So what do you think? Now that didn't take long at all. Admittedly, I had all of the cardstock cut out, but you know, you don't want to sit here sometimes and watch me do that. So this is the first one, and I used boho blue. So this is card number 1. I've also just taken some of our tear and tape. I've put that across the middle. Just put it across that piece and then used our gilding flakes I have used gilding flakes on a video before if you want to see them in action. And I've just used the boho blue dots. That's card number 1. Card number 2 has no gilding flakes. I've used blueberry bushel and I've put Lost Lagoon gems on there. Other than that, they're exactly the same. They open exactly the same. This one hasn't got the bee on it on the inside. So card number 1, card number 2, let me know what you think. And yeah, let me know if you might have a go at that. And don't forget, those papers and those stamps and dies are all on sale. They're in the clearance rack. If you can wait until tomorrow, up until the 11th, that's 3 days of free shipping. 3 days. That's never happened before. We usually only get 1 day. So, yeah, take advantage of that. But do have a look. Constantly look in the clearance rack. You'll see that in my online store. That's the address there. And the October host code is this series of letters and numbers. So, yeah, thank you so much for spending some time with me on your Sunday evening. And I'll see you all, hopefully, on Wednesday. Bye.